pleasure to present to you the newest name in Delaware sports and sports around the world, who's had absolutely no success in the real world, so he's dedicated his life to talking sports. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the huddle. It's me, Coach Muddle, flying a little solo tonight. Maybe the whole show, maybe not, because who knows? Nevada Nick. I think they're still in Atlantic City. Who knows what the deal is? So, I'm going to carry us. Give me a second to, because apparently I can't do all the buttons at once. But I'm going to get it going here because we got a lot to talk about. I mean, a lot to talk about because let's start with the football giants. I mean, because I like the fact that I have to talk about them, especially when it's just me, because I get a chance to talk about them. Because I kind of feel like I get a little robbed sometimes. So look, I want to set some things straight with the Giants. Towards the end of the game, we had FedEx drivers playing. I understand that. But, one, why all of a sudden are we anointing Dave Gettleman General Manager of the Year because Kadarius Toney has had 2 decent games? Okay? Remember, this is the league. And he's getting a book on him. All right. And let's back up before we put the book on him and defenses figuring him out. It took some injuries for him to actually get on the field for a consistent basis because, Slade and Shepard are still on the field. I don't think that we're having that discussion. I mean, he's the last man standing at the receiver because Galladay is Galladay. I mean, we knew this coming in. He had an injury history. But, hey, Dave Gettleman thought, hey, let's pay him all this money and let's draft a receiver so that we can blame the defense for playing piss poor. And, they are. But I don't care if it's Deion Sanders back there. No pass rush. They can't cover guys that long. We have 0 pass rush. 0. And again, Dave Gettleman, how about the New York Football Giants? Again, paying Robin Batman money to be Robin again. Okay? Because Leonard Williams is a Robin, but we paid him. Not only did we outbid ourselves to trade for him, we also overpaid for Robin. And I'm just saying, because Kadarius Toney, did Baltimore trade into, I can't remember if they traded into back into the first round or traded back. But Perryman was the only other receiver drafted after Cadone. Because, so let's just look at it. Because you had the defensive end again, because this is the 3rd draft. Gettleman has had a premier defensive end sitting there with the number 1 pick and didn't do it. Okay. Actually 4, but let's just go. Okay. Because you had a 2 premier defensive ends that are playing rather well right now at defensive end. And you could have had your pick of receivers in the second round because there was quite a few there. There was those guys there. So I just don't understand. We have no pass rush again. Again. We have no pass rush. So I don't care. And I said this from Jump Street. Stack the cards that you want on offense. No pass rush. It's not going to work. And then, everybody is jumping on, oh, you got the guy hurt. Look, Daniel Jones stuck his head down to try and score. That's on Daniel Jones. What I am questioning is the play call itself of that running to the outside when, you could have just QB sneak over the top, especially when the next play, which, by the way, you don't see. What's up, Nelson? Thanks for jumping in. You don't see it because, they were at commercial and for some reason they decided to start playing. They went over the top. Why didn't do that on third down? Why not QB sneak? But that's on Daniel Jones got hurt because of Daniel Jones. Nothing else. I just question the play called running to the outside. I'm not a big fan of that outside in the goal line, unless you're going to throw the ball and whatnot. I'm not a fan of that. That is what it is. So it's on Daniel Jones. But now, the Giants going to be in the market for a quarterback because we got to sign somebody because, Glennon is, he is what it is. Where do you go? We've got to fire Dave Gettleman. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I feel like this, Nelson, is, the Giants, had played a great game in Washington. Like that offense, when was the last time the Giants scored that many points in a game? And then you just have gone backwards steadily. But, let's look at that game. Dallas was handing you the game. They were giving it to you, turning the ball over. You could have went in. You should have went into halftime 10-10. But again, I'm blaming the pass rush on that because, you could have went in 10-10, but it's still a ball game. And then the second half, you come down, you get a field goal. You're within 4 points. This is a football game. And then, I don't know, the wheels fell off, and all of a sudden, let's start anointing Kadarius Toney. But you know what? Not for nothing. He's another OBJ. I just feel that way. And I'm not saying because, wasn't a big fan of OBJ, but he's that guy who's great when nobody else is around. He's got to be the only guy in the room. He's that guy that's got to be the smartest guy in the room. And there you go. You beat me to it. It's becoming an OBJ because he's really good when he's the only guy out there. And you've seen that the last two games. He's the only guy out there, so he is thriving. But when you have all the ball to go around to all these different people, he starts bitching and whining, as you saw, but yes, you're a one-trick pony when it comes to having pieces around you, and you're not a piece that fits in the puzzle. So that's where I am with Toney because, again, shouldn't have been drafted with the 20th pick by the New York Giants. When you had spent the money on Galladay, you're high on Slayton, you have a veteran like Shepard, and you're still trying to figure out the tight end, Evan Ingram. I mean, and with that, but I mean, on paper, that receiving core right there. Why would you have to pick a receiver? What would make you think on paper that you need a receiver? Okay, because man, you have a glaring need at offensive line, and a bigger glaring need at pass rush because we haven't had a pass rusher since Justin Tuck. I mean, tell me. I mean, and I could be wrong, and maybe I'm missing some guys. I'm slating some guys, but I apologize, but I can't really remember that, you know. And look, Saquon Barkley again. What has he done? Take his rookie year away, injuries, so we can label him injury prone. Okay. And who's signing him to a long-term deal? Go test free agency, Saquon. Please go test it. Well, you know, because I'm not on board with signing him to some big contract. I mean, because I got to believe that anybody's going to give him a 1, maybe 2. I mean, if he's hits the Powerball, he might get a 3-year deal from someone, because I just don't see it. Just don't see it happening. You know, and if I'm the Giants, I'm giving you a bare minimum. Here's a minimum prove it deal, because you haven't proved anything to the Giant fans. Because let's face it, you take his one big play a game out, he's pedestrian-like. You know, so again, you go with the third, you go and take the second overall pick, Sam Darnold. And I'm sure there was a defensive lineman there at the number 2. You could have traded back and stockpiled picks because you have the number of holes that you have, and still gotten some good pieces. You know, I mean, where? I mean, because all you're doing is you're hamstringing this Giant organization. And I want to know, my question is to the NFL, how long are you going to allow the biggest market in the world to have 2 bad teams? Not 1, but 2. And we already know the Jets are the Jets. They're a dumpster fire. Let's face it. But you have 2. You already had to step in once to help the Giants. It's time to step in again and help the Giants. Okay? Because let's face it, they're a mess. And I'm going to keep saying I am sorry to OBJ. I am sorry, because we sent you to Cleveland, and my mistake that Cleveland was Cleveland, and all of a sudden now they're playoff bound, they're respectable, and we're the dumpster fire. We are the new Cleveland of the NFL. And how bad is that? When you are in the same conversation as the Jets across the street. I mean, you are the same dumpster. You're in the same dumpster as the Jets on fire. That is an embarrassment to us Giant fans, you know, who, you know, let's face it, you know, consider ourselves, at least we're not Jet fans, you know, at least we're not Jet fans. Now, well, hey, we're in the dumpster with them. You know, hey, they've been calling us. Hey, come down to the basement. It's fun down here. Come on down, hang out. It'll be good. Sure enough, we got sucked in, and now we're stuck now. We're trapped down there with them. Jacksonville, and you know, the Forever Lions, you know. So I agree, Nelson. Look, I agree 100%, dude. It is a management issue. It's Mara is afraid. He is afraid to do anything. He is afraid to go outside the box. If you have not worked for that organization, he is afraid to bring in somebody fresh. Again, and look, you know, Gettleman worked for the organization. You know, we got Joe Judge because of Bill Belichick. You know, I mean, come on now. And I'm sorry, Joe Judge. I'm sorry. Because I think you need to get kicked to the curb again as well, because I've been on board. For those of you who listen, I've been on board with Joe Judge. I've been a big fan. But listen, Kadarius Toney, how you don't, after Elliott high steps in, somebody should have gotten his grill. I mean, that's like, kicking you in the nuts. I mean, where's your self-respect, dude? I mean, come on. Look, Anthony, I understand, everybody's hoping for a win. I mean, listen, I don't get up on Sunday morning going, oh, we're going to lose. Of course you're positive, you're fired up. It's a new day. Anything can happen. That's why they play the game. But come on. I mean, and it was a football game for a short time until, but when he high steps in there, I mean, somebody needed to get in his grill. So, and Joe Judge, what? You got to get out on the field, start yelling at the guy. I mean, somebody should have done it sooner. Okay. And all you did was raise the stock of Kadarius Toney, which I'm still not buying. I'm still not buying. Giants fan need to realize the old school, right. It's hurting. You're right. You got to get outside the box. And Nelson, it's horrific of what we have to watch. And now we're sitting here waiting for, is Jacksonville going to get a win? Is Detroit going to get a win? Are we vying for the 3 spot with, because now look, the Jets and the Giants, top 5 pick again. Come on, man. Come on. What are we doing? This is absurd. And I'm tired of it, and I'm sorry. The whole house needs to be cleaned again, and still not Daniel Jones. He's not the guy. He is not the guy for us. Let him go and play somewhere else and be a guy. But he is not the guy for New York. And I'm telling you, here's what needs to happen. I think the Giants need to bring in a fresh, young general manager. I mean, if you're going to follow your same script, there's rumblings in Vegas that they're going to get rid of the GM who played for Parcells with the Giants. So if I like him, I wouldn't be upset with him, but I would prefer a young mind to come in and clean house and get on the same page with the coach, and then we bring in a stopgap guy like because Garoppolo will be out there. I think he's probably the guy, kind of Joe Judge, Patriot ties. Well, Joe Judge will be gone, but I think Garoppolo will come in and just be that stopgap guy so that you go fix this offense and defensive line and then bring in a quarterback, because there's no quarterbacks this year. No quarterbacks. So don't, yeah, we get a top 10 pick, but not only that, there is no quarterback in the draft. So who cares? We have 2 drop 10. We have the Bears pick, which, I was a little upset. I was kind of rooting for the Raiders, but it is John Gruden and he doesn't know how to make adjustments. So the Raiders kind of screwing us as well. So, that's what it is. And I know I'm not going to take up the whole show with the disgusting talk of the Giants. And yes, we are the new Cleveland of the NFL. And that's what it amounts to be. But there was other football. There was some good football, because I was slipping around and watching that Charger game. Holy crap, man. That was, coming down to the end, that was good. And, of course, who would have thought the Bengals taking it to overtime? Another good game. And, of course, and the Vikings needing a last-second field goal to beat. I tell you what, though, man, Detroit, man, they got to be the best 0-5 team in the league right now, because they've lost a couple close games, and I felt like they gave Green Bay, a good fight in the first half at least. So, I don't know. We'll see. The Rams come to the Meadowlands on Sunday, and we'll see how it works out for the Giants. I don't know, but it really is a. But there was some good football, and of course, me, I really didn't think Arizona was that good, but they're the last undefeated team standing. Granted, you turn the ball over on downs 3 times. It's kind of tough to win a football game. So, the 49ers, and we'll see. So, I don't know. And did anybody get up to watch the Jets? I caught the last part of it, but again, it was, I think they got to move it to 10 a.m. because there's too big of a gap between that game and the other game. It was just weird. Just because we did our show Saturday, so Sunday, up normal showtime, get ready, get up about 8, I start get ready for the show, and then get in, we do the show from 10 to 11. So I made making some breakfast, and I decided, let's watch, last part of the game. And, it almost looked interesting. Almost, I say almost. But the Jets are the Jets, and that's what that is. But when the game ended, I felt like it should be like, the 1 o'clock games. They bleed right into the 4 o'clock games and 4:30 games. It's like a constant flow from 1 all the way up, until about 7. You got that where I feel like 7 to 7:30 to 8:30. That's kind of like break time. Okay, go to the bathroom, get something to eat, and then get ready for the other game. Where but it was just that weird, like there was that 35-minute gap, which felt kind of weird to me. I don't know, and just because I was watching football and then I really couldn't get into the pregame stuff, so it was a little weird for me. I don't know about you guys, but Kyle Pitts finally caught a touchdown pass, and I just think, again, tight end, that to be drafted that high is just not it is tough. Tight end, a lot of pressure on him, and again, another guy, he had a big game, and if you watch this on Saturday, Stiz and I talked about it, was, both receivers were out for Atlanta. So it left Pitts as the main guy. And Matty Ice, he found him. And I think the Jets, all they had to do was double cover this guy, and they can't do it. But because basically it was him or the running back, 1-2, 1-2. And, that's what was happening. So I just think it should be, those Sunday morning games. They need to change the time or something, so it winds up being, maybe you should do it on a Saturday, and then you get into the college thing though. But I just don't. Maybe you should make those the Thursday night games. Why don't you make the London games Thursday night and let them play at like 2 in the morning or something, so it's at night here, or just go old school, tape delay. Why? Who cares? Tape delay it. We're still sleeping, and play it Thursday night because no one cares. Come on. Because really, are you getting up to see Jacksonville and Miami in London this Sunday? Unless, is there anybody who's really a Jacksonville fan? I don't know. And, unless you're a Dolphin fan, I guess. I have no idea. So horrible. I know there was some baseball, but, the Yankees aren't in it. So I'm not even, talk about it. Nevada Nick obviously still in some poker game probably over there in Atlantic City. Still there. Don't know if he's popping in or not. Just in case you just tuned in and wondering where Nevada Nick is and Nick's picks tonight. And I don't even know. He didn't even text me if he likes somebody tonight or what. But I'll give mine out towards the end, because I'm on a roll now since I got off the schneid. I went against Jacksonville. I mean, when you're in a skid, you got to find something to put the brakes on. Derrick Henry carried the load and helped me out, get me off the schneid. So it was so it worked out. Now I'm not over. They can't get on me about it. So very excited about being part of that, and then listen, we didn't I tell you what though, and I know we didn't cover this because we did the show Saturday, so this is the first time, but man, and some great college football on Saturday. I mean, I was pretty much glued to the TV from noon on. I mean, I had both the Red River rivalry with Texas, Oklahoma, and then I had Arkansas, Ole Miss, watching those two games, which was, man, both nail biters. I mean, you thought that Texas was running away with it, but man, I mean, they figured out a way to crap the bed, and of course, all hyped up about Ole Miss's defense this year, and then of course they go into that craziness. But then you had a great Penn State Iowa game. And unfortunately, the quarterback gets hurt, and Penn State couldn't hold on. And then at night, you had Alabama getting upset by Texas A&M, and you had Notre Dame squeaking it out. So. Listen, Michigan, Anthony, come on now. What time is it? Wait, what time is it? Oh, 6:27. Michigan still sucks, okay? Until they can beat Ohio State, then they can talk about trying to get a playoff. But come on, you got to beat Ohio State. You got to get to a Big Ten championship. You got a lot of hurdles to get to even, talk about anything else about that. So don't come at me with Michigan. I mean, you got some hurdles, bro. So it's not crazy. I mean, you should be blessed that you're ranked that high, because I mean, do you have a quality win yet? I mean, have you beaten somebody yet? I don't know. I haven't been following Michigan, so I don't know. But. If Michigan's even gotten a quality win, but be lucky that you're ranked that high. I don't think that you're that high until you beat Ohio State and then you win a Big Ten championship, which you haven't done in quite some time. So you do those things, then I think you deserve to be in a playoff. But until then, I just don't see it, and so you got a big road to hoe, man. So and still, Oregon, I mean, you went into the big house, you upset Ohio State, but then what? I mean, you were still drunk and high. And you let Stanford come in and upset you. So, again, it's that Pac-12. You're not going to get any respect. I mean, this was the year you beat an Ohio State. You actually had a quality win on your resume to get you into the dance, and then and then you wound up losing to Stanford. So it's a little tough there. So, but we got a lot going on. Let me tell you, Kansas City has got some issues going on. And that's what happens. You pay some people, you pay too many people on offense, not enough money for the defense, and you got some glaring holes. And but again, Spags, I love Spags. It's not how you play in October; it's how you play in January. I still think they're going to be there. I know the Raider fans are all excited because but look, I mean, the Raiders right now are, they've dropped 2 in a row, and you still got to go to Kansas City, or Kansas City's coming to you. But you got to play them twice. You got a lot going on there. But honestly, the AFC right now, I think it's Buffalo, and despite that loss and the defense, I think the defense, I think Cleveland went to the fight and forgot about Sunday having to play. They went to the fight and then shot back over to LA and forgot about it because, man, they gave up that many points. But I think the 3 teams in the AFC right now, Kansas City, Cleveland, and the Chargers. I mean, how about that? Putting you're going to put the NFL in a little bit of a bind. The Rams and the Chargers play at the same place and having to play, come playoff time, rearrange that schedule. That's going to be something to watch. Man, who do you think the hottest team? The Bills, Rams, or I Bills? I still think the Bills are the team right now. I mean, hands down, the Bills are the team. And even though Arizona's 5-0, I still think they're not as good as Tampa. They're not as good as and I was going to say Green Bay, but after the way they played, I mean, I believe, is that the first time that you've had 5 missed game-winning kicks in a game? I think I saw that somewhere. I'm not 100% sure, but I still think Arizona is not as good as Tampa right now. So, I mean, look, Tom Brady was just chucking it. I mean, 5 touchdowns, threw for over 400 yards. I mean, he was just rocking it. So, look, they're my team. I mean, it might be Tampa and Buffalo, I think. If I had to guess right now. So we'll see. Because I still don't have Arizona in the conversation, to be honest with you. I'm still not a believer yet, even though they're 5-0. They're the last undefeated team. I'm still not there yet with Arizona. I'm still not there. So we'll see. We'll see. They got I'm not sure about their schedule coming up, but we'll see how they play out and possibly, but right now, Buffalo, I think Buffalo had a hiccup week 1. I think it was them reading the press clippings, and now they're back on track. And so watch out playing Buffalo right now. I don't, they're a buzzsaw. I think the road to the Super Bowl goes through Buffalo this year, man. They're going to be jumping through some tables in January. You watch. So it's going to be a little crazy up there in Buffalo. So get your hand warmers and get ready to rock and roll, because and I believe that was one of my teams I had as a Super Bowl team this year was Buffalo. So I don't think Kansas City, they have a lot, and I know Andy Reid and Spags, they'll come through and fix things up, and they'll be there at the end. But you know what? I'm sorry, Anthony, but I just can't go against Tom Brady until Tom Brady loses. I just don't. I mean, they're firing on all cylinders. I don't know how you can see. They had their little hiccup out in L.A., and I just think that I just think it's, all roads to the Super Bowl are going to go through Tampa and Buffalo. And right now, I just don't see it. I don't know. I mean, Anthony, who do you think who's beating Tampa Bay right now in the NFC? I mean, who's beating them? I just don't see it. So, you tell me who beats them. So, I don't know, but let me see. Can we get this? See, I can't do two things at once, but we'll see. So, but you tell me who beats them. Let me know. I want to know your opinion. You said there's too many hot teams. What hot teams are there? Because we saw Sam Darnold came down to earth with the Eagles. All of a sudden, the Mummers are fired up again. The Eagles win. And, so we'll see. They're on a one-game winning streak, but, they got the Eagles have Tom Brady Thursday night. I don't know. We'll see. So, but they came down to earth. I mean, do you think Dallas is going to be the team? I mean, they put up 44 against the Giants. I mean, no, I don't think they're the team. I don't think they're the team. I mean, Green Bay. I mean, look, it took overtime. I don't know. I mean, and Arizona squeaked by. So, I mean, but I don't see the top teams in the conference right now. I don't see it. What's up, Sammy? Look, Sammy. Look, the Giants had FedEx guys playing by the end of the game, so you don't have to tell me about injuries. But listen, and I hate to break it to you. But dude, it's Washington. They weren't winning anyway. I mean, I don't know. You got that false sense of, man, we're good because the NFC East was so bad. You were just the best of the worst. But I will give you, they did play Tampa the best out of any playoff team. If you including the Super Bowl, I think that was the best. So yeah, Sammy, I missed you at homecoming Friday night, buddy. So they could have used you. They could have used you, man. So, but yeah, I mean, you're right. It's the same. You were in the same boat. Washington, and the Giants both had the I didn't get a number. He was running so fast, man. Well, it's Delmar, man. They run by committee, so there's a herd of them still out there running. But back to it. Washington, that defense was supposed to be a staple. Same with the Giants, had that top 10 defense, and you thought, okay, it's that staple, and now it's not there. I think and with the Giants, you get rid of Tomlinson. You thought you had a piece. With I can't think of his name. We spent a first round pick. He's the Odell Beckham pick from Dexter Lawrence. My bad. We thought he was the guy to replace him, and it just didn't. He's not that guy. He's just not that guy to do what Tomlinson did. And, we went and paid, not rehashing this, we went and paid a Robin to be Batman, and we didn't draft a pass rusher. In the second, we drafted a guy in the second round, but we needed a first round talent that's going to be there. And you see those guys, both the kids from Miami doing really well. And, we're still, we have a tier 2 receiver who's playing tier 1 because of the injuries and looks like he's a world beater. But, again, fool's gold. I'm just saying, Yep. Yeah. And even worse for Washington, you spent 4 first-round picks on those guys. You got a whole, and they can't even shut off the faucet. So honestly, part of that to me is reading the press clippings. They got the big head. They thought people were just going to lay down, and all of a sudden they found out, oh no, they're not, and they haven't rebounded. So. It is what it is, man. It is, right now it's, what are you tanking for? There's no quarterback in the draft this year. And hopefully maybe the kid from Oregon, the Giants can go, but I don't think the Giants are going to be up high enough to get that kid, because he will be he'll be gone with either Jacksonville or Detroit, because, but I think Detroit wins a couple of games. I just don't see the Giants. They might get lucky against Washington at a home game at the end. The Eagles aren't that good. So, listen, I'm all for that. Can we send Daniel Jones and Saquon to the Texans for Deshaun Watson? I've been saying that. We have 2 number 1 picks. Throw a number 1 pick in there, and throw in a receiver, because we have a plethora of them. Throw a package deal in there and go get it. I'm all for that, because I think Watson makes you a contender pretty darn quickly. If you're Washington, if you're the Giants, I can really see that. Yeah, Anthony, I agree with you. I think that they Jacksonville probably will. They're going to be probably looking for a new coach, and Urban Meyer will probably be at USC next year. I can, that's just the way it's going to play out. You better watch out. Urban Meyer might be in one of them pubs in England, grinding up on some English women. Who knows? But we'll see, man. You know what? Yeah, and you know what? You ran the wheels right off that car, because RG3 probably could have been, a guy, but you had that old school coach, and he ran you into the ground. He just ran your guy into the ground, man. You had Shanahan just run you into the ground, which was a shame, because didn't he play with his knee already torn up? Like he shouldn't have even been playing in that game, if I remember correctly. But it is what it is, man. And we'll see. I don't know about giving up the farm, because then but what the Giants would give up, it really isn't the farm. I mean, but hopefully our trash is their treasure, and they take it. But I mean, honestly, it's just going to take draft picks. I don't think, it's not like baseball where it's players, yeah, you're right. Because you're not old enough. When he bought the team, he was playing fantasy football. Deion Sanders will tell you, I was washed up, man. I was just there for a paycheck, so that's basically, what he put together was, it took forever for them to get out of that cap hell, so, But yeah, we'll see. But let's see. Tonight we got, you got the Ravens tonight. You got Baltimore, Wentz, and I think for the Colts, this is a must-win for them. This is a must-win, and I think for Baltimore too, because Pittsburgh won, Cleveland lost, Cincinnati lost as well. So I think this is a must-win for both these teams right now. I mean, you've got to win these games. So we'll see. We'll see tonight. And how do you go against Baltimore? As bad as it's Carson Wentz. He's not a big-time quarterback. And there's a reason why he couldn't handle it in Philadelphia, and he's just honestly, he's not going to be in the league much longer. So, I'm going Baltimore. I don't know what the line is. That's Nevada Nick stuff, but you know what? I'm just Baltimore should win the football game. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Sammy. I think he is. He is not the quarterback that we saw as an MVP. And look, honestly, I think if Carson Wentz does not get hurt, I don't think that the Eagles win a Super Bowl. I honestly don't think so. I think they get a hiccup in the playoffs. They would have got a hiccup somewhere, and honestly. So I'm just saying, I just think things worked out for a reason, and and that's what it is. So, but I agree with you 100% that Carson Wentz is done. Yeah, he's going to retire because I don't think he can handle being a backup. I just don't think he can. He just doesn't have the makeup. Come on. I mean, he bitched and whined in Philadelphia. That's why he's not there. He couldn't take it. So I don't think he can be that guy. So he'll come. He'll sign and play a little bit for another team, but and Eagle fans could be mad, but he's just not going to get enough snaps. That won't wind up with a second round pick for him, and that'll be that. It is what it is. So, all right, guys, it's been awesome. I appreciate everybody coming in, checking us out tonight. Please share it with your friends, like the page, go over to YouTube, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Thursday, Nevada Nick will be here. Because it is an Eagles game. Of course, he's going to want to put in his 2 cents about that. So he'll be here on Thursday, our regular show Thursday. So we'll see everybody Thursday. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Again, be safe. Enjoy some football tonight, and we'll see you on Thursday. Thanks a lot.